In a distant corner of the galaxy, a mighty alien leader known as the Galactic Tyrant ruled over a vast empire. He was tall, with glowing green skin and sharp features. His throne room was filled with powerful advisors who feared him but also questioned his decisions. The tyrant looked down on many species, believing that humans from Earth were weak and foolish. "They are nothing," he often said, laughing at their primitive ways. "They can never threaten our empire." On Earth, things were changing. In a high-tech laboratory, a group of brilliant scientists worked day and night. They had a dream: to harness the energy of the sun and create a Dyson sphere, a massive structure that could collect solar energy. This energy would not only power their planet, but also give them the strength to explore the stars. The scientists, led by a determined woman named Dr. Emily Carter, believed this project would change everything. After years of hard work, the day finally came. The Dyson sphere was complete! It shimmered in the sunlight, a gigantic ring surrounding the sun, capturing its energy. Dr. Carter and her team gathered in the control room, excited and nervous. They pressed a button, and the sphere came to life, glowing brighter than anyone could have imagined. The entire planet felt a surge of energy. Cars and machines powered up like never before. News of the Dyson sphere spread quickly. People around the world cheered as they realized the potential of their new power source. But this news also reached the Galactic Empire. The tyrant's advisors rushed to him, their faces pale with worry. "My lord, the humans have built something incredible. We must pay attention," one advisor urged. The tyrant scoffed, waving his hand dismissively. "They are still just monkeys playing with toys. This means nothing." However, deep inside, a seed of doubt began to grow. What if humans were stronger than he thought? He dismissed his advisors, but they continued to whisper among themselves, worried about the consequences of underestimating Earth. Meanwhile, the scientists on Earth celebrated their success. They had unlocked new technologies and created advanced energy weapons powered by the Dyson sphere. The scientists knew that with this power, they could protect their planet and even venture into space. They were no longer just Earthlings. They felt like a part of something much bigger. As the news of Earth's achievement spread, other alien races in the galaxy took notice. Some were curious, while others were frightened. They had heard stories about humans, but this new development changed everything. The galaxy was filled with whispers and rumors, creating a sense of urgency among the alien leaders. Back in the tyrant's palace, the atmosphere shifted. His advisors urged him to act. "We cannot let humans grow too powerful. We must show them their place," they insisted. The tyrant, now feeling the pressure, summoned his most trusted generals. "Prepare the fleet," he ordered. "We will remind these humans that they are nothing but ants before a giant." As the fleet assembled, the tyrant tried to project confidence, but doubt crept into his mind. He knew that if he attacked, it could lead to war. But he also realized that doing nothing could make him appear weak. The thought of a powerful Earth made his skin crawl. He had to act before it was too late. In the control room of the Dyson sphere, Dr. Carter and her team were ready for anything. They had trained hard and prepared for the unexpected. They were excited but nervous, knowing that their technology could change the fate of their world. They had become pioneers of a new age. As the tyrant's fleet set course for Earth, the tension in the galaxy grew. On one side, there was the arrogant tyrant, determined to crush what he saw as a minor threat. On the other side, there were the brave humans, ready to defend their home and showcase their newfound power. Little did they know this encounter would change the galaxy forever. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the Galactic Empire. The clash of power, pride, and unexpected courage was about to unfold, and no one could predict the outcome. The humans were ready to show that they were not the weaklings the tyrant believed them to be. The first chapter of their fight for respect and survival had begun, and it all started with a big surprise. The sun shone brightly over Earth as the news of the Dyson sphere's success spread like wildfire. The people celebrated in the streets, filled with excitement and hope. They felt a sense of unity and strength that they had never experienced before. Dr. Emily Carter and her team stood at the forefront of this celebration, proud of what they had accomplished. Little did they know their success would soon grab the attention of the galaxy. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Empire, the mood was very different. The Galactic Tyrant, filled with anger and fear, paced back and forth in his grand palace. "These humans must be stopped," he shouted at his advisors. "They think they can challenge my power with their little toy. We will show them the true meaning of fear." The tyrant's advisors, trembling in their seats, nodded in agreement. "Yes, my lord. We must act quickly. They are gaining power by the day," one advisor said. The tyrant ordered his fleet to prepare for departure. "We will strike at dawn! Show no mercy!" he commanded, his voice echoing in the chamber. Back on Earth, Dr. Carter and her team had big plans. With the energy from the Dyson sphere, they developed new weapons and technology. They called a meeting with world leaders, ready to unveil their innovations. "Today, we stand united," Dr. Carter began, her eyes shining with excitement. "We have harnessed the energy of the sun, and now we can protect our planet." As she spoke, images of advanced weaponry filled the screen behind her: energy blasters, defense shields, and ships powered by solar energy. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing through the hall. "With this technology, we can explore the stars and defend ourselves from any threat." In the command room, the mood shifted from excitement to determination. The team knew they were now a target, but they felt empowered. They believed in their project and each other. "We have to be ready for anything," Dr. Carter said, looking around at her team. "We can't let fear stop us." Just as they finished their meeting, an alarm blared throughout the facility. The screens flickered, showing a fleet of alien ships approaching the solar system. "It's the tyrant!" someone shouted, panic spreading through the room. But Dr. Carter remained calm. "We have prepared for this. Let's show them what we can do." As the alien ships drew closer, the humans activated their defenses. Energy shields lit up around the Dyson sphere, creating a barrier of light. They quickly positioned their solar-powered ships, ready to engage the enemy. The atmosphere was tense, but a fierce determination filled the air. The humans would not back down. The Galactic Tyrant aboard his flagship watched as his fleet advanced toward Earth. He smirked, confident that this would be an easy victory. "Crush them!" he shouted, waving his hand dramatically. The fleet moved into position, ready to unleash their firepower. Suddenly, the battle began. The alien ships fired their weapons, sending bolts of energy toward the Earth's defenses. But the humans were ready. Their energy shields absorbed the blasts, and they returned fire with their new solar weapons. Bright beams of light shot from the Earth's ships, hitting the alien fleet and causing explosions in the darkness of space. The tyrant's confidence began to waver as he watched his ships take damage. "What is happening?" he screamed. "They should be easy to destroy." His advisors scrambled to find answers. The humans fought with skill and bravery, using their new technology to outmaneuver the larger alien ships. Back on Earth, cheers erupted as people watched the battle unfold on their screens. They were no longer helpless. They were fighting back. "Look at them go!" someone shouted, as a human ship dodged an incoming blast and fired back at the aliens. As the battle raged on, the humans' ingenuity shone bright. They worked together, communicating through their advanced systems, coordinating their attacks. The alien fleet struggled to keep up, their tactics failing against the unexpected unity of the humans. Realizing he was losing, the Galactic Tyrant's panic turned into rage. "Send the doomsday weapon!" he shouted, desperate to regain control. But the humans had already proven themselves a force to be reckoned with. They were ready to unleash their full power, and nothing could stop them now. The tide had turned, and the power of humanity was unleashed. They were no longer just Earthlings. They were warriors, defending their home and ready to take their place in the galaxy. The battle was just beginning and the outcome was still unknown, but one thing was clear: humanity would fight fiercely for their future. The battle in space was fierce. The dark void was filled with bright flashes of energy as alien ships clashed with human defenders. The Galactic Tyrant watched from his flagship, his green skin glowing with anger. His fleet had come to crush the humans, but they were putting up a fight that he never expected. "Launch all fighters!" the Tyrant commanded, his voice echoing through the ship. His generals hurried to follow orders, scrambling to prepare the small attack ships. The Tyrant believed that sheer numbers would crush the humans. After all, he had sent thousands of ships, and they were powerful. How could these Earthlings stand a chance? Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Emily Carter and her team monitored the battle from their control center. The screens displayed the chaos unfolding in space. Dr. Carter watched intently, her heart racing. "We need to give our ships more power!" she shouted. "Every second counts!" Her team quickly made adjustments to the energy distribution from the Dyson sphere, channeling more power to the defense systems and the attacking ships. With every boost of energy, the human fighters gained strength and their confidence grew. They were ready to take the fight to the enemy. As the alien fighters launched from the flagship, the humans' solar-powered ships zoomed into action. Pilots navigated through the chaos, expertly dodging enemy fire. The humans fought like they had something to prove, and they did. They were no longer seen as weak. They were warriors defending their home. One pilot, a young man named Jake, skillfully maneuvered his ship through enemy lines. He felt the adrenaline rush as he fired his energy blaster at an alien fighter. The shot hit its target, causing an explosion that lit up the dark space. "Take that, you overgrown lizard!" he shouted, pumping his fist in excitement. In the command center, Dr. Carter smiled at the success of her team. "Great job, Jake. Keep pushing them back," she encouraged. The energy from the Dyson sphere flowed like a river, fueling their fight. The humans were fighting back with everything they had, and it was making a difference. The Galactic Tyrant, growing more frustrated by the second, bellowed in rage. "Why are we losing to these insects? Bring out the Doomsday weapon now!" He knew that this weapon would be their last hope. It was a massive cannon that could destroy entire planets, and he believed it would turn the tide of battle. As the Doomsday weapon powered up, Dr. Carter sensed the danger. "We have to stop that weapon," she warned her team. "If they fire it, it could wipe out everything. We need to disable it before it's too late." Jake and a few other brave pilots volunteered for the dangerous mission. "We'll do it," Jake said, determination in his eyes. "We'll take out that weapon and save our planet." The pilots quickly regrouped and set their course for the flagship where the Doomsday weapon was housed. As they approached, they faced heavy fire from the alien ships. The humans' hearts raced, but they pressed on, knowing the fate of Earth depended on them. They flew through the enemy's defensive lines, dodging blasts and returning fire. One by one, they took out alien fighters, creating a path toward the flagship. Finally, they reached the Doomsday weapon, a massive structure bristling with energy. It was almost ready to fire, and time was running out. "We have to act fast," Jake shouted over the comms. "I'll distract them. The rest of you take it out." Jake dove his ship toward the weapon, drawing the attention of the enemy. Blasts of energy shot past him as he flew through the chaos, weaving in and out of danger. He was scared, but he knew he had to be brave. The fate of humanity was at stake. With the distraction in place, the other pilots moved in for the attack. They targeted the Doomsday weapon's power core, the heart of its energy source. With one final push, they fired their weapons in unison. The beams of light struck true, hitting the core and causing it to overload. An enormous explosion erupted from the flagship as the Doomsday weapon was destroyed. The shockwave sent ripples through space, and the alien fleet was thrown into chaos. The tyrant's eyes widened in disbelief as he realized his weapon had failed. "No! This cannot be happening!" he shouted in anger. The tide of battle shifted as the alien fleet faltered. The humans seized the moment, pushing forward and attacking with renewed vigor. They had turned the battle in their favor, showing the Galactic Tyrant that they were not to be underestimated. The Galactic Empire had underestimated humanity, and now they would pay the price. The humans fought fiercely, proving that their power and determination could conquer even the mightiest of foes. The Galactic Tyrant's flagship floated in the chaos of the battle, smoke billowing from the wreckage of the destroyed Doomsday weapon. His face turned a deep shade of red, mixing anger with fear. The humans were pushing back his fleet, and he was running out of options. His plan was falling apart before his very eyes. "Gather the remaining fleet!" he shouted, his voice rising above the sounds of explosions and alarms. "We must regroup and launch a counterattack. If we do not act now, we will lose everything." The advisors scurried to carry out his orders, but the tyrant could see the doubt in their eyes. They knew that the humans were more powerful than they had thought. Meanwhile, on Earth, the mood was electric. The news of the battle's shift spread quickly. Dr. Emily Carter and her team celebrated their victory over the Doomsday weapon, but she also felt a sense of unease. "This isn't over," she said, looking at the screens that showed the ongoing battle. "They're regrouping. We need to be ready for anything." The team quickly began analyzing data from the battle. "The tyrant won't give up easily," said Jake, still buzzing with adrenaline. "We need to find a way to end this once and for all." The group brainstormed ideas, but the reality was that they needed a strong, decisive plan to put the tyrant on the defensive. Back on the flagship, the tyrant seethed with rage as he gathered his commanders. "Prepare the experimental weapon," he ordered. "It's our last chance to crush the humans. We cannot afford to lose this fight." The commanders looked hesitant but nodded, understanding the weight of their leader's words. They had to act quickly, or the tyrant's rule would be finished. As they worked, the tyrant glanced at the view screen, watching as the human ships advanced. "They believe they have won," he growled. "But they will soon learn the true meaning of despair." The crew began the preparations, and soon a new weapon powered up. This was a powerful device, one that could manipulate gravity and cause massive destruction. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Carter's team was developing their own plan. "We need to strike hard and fast," she said, her voice steady. "If we can disrupt their weapon before it fires, we can turn this battle in our favor." The team agreed and began making preparations for a bold attack on the flagship. As the human fleet continued to press forward, the galactic tyrant watched in disbelief. "Why won't they back down?" he screamed. "Send in the experimental weapon!" With a flick of his wrist, he activated the device. It hummed with energy, the air around it crackling with power. The human fleet had no idea what was coming. The tyrant's device began to glow brighter, and a dark wave of energy shot out toward the Earth. The humans saw it coming, and panic spread through the command center. "What is that?" Jake shouted, eyes wide with fear. "Brace for impact!" Dr. Carter yelled. The screens flickered with warning lights as the dark wave approached. It crashed into the human defenses, causing a massive explosion that sent shock waves through space. The human shield struggled to hold, flickering under the assault. "We can't hold this much longer," one technician shouted. "We need to counterattack." Dr. Carter knew they had to fight back. "Deploy all remaining ships. We can't let them use that weapon again," she commanded. The remaining human ships rallied and moved into formation, preparing to engage the enemy. The battle raged on as the humans pushed back against the dark energy. Their weapons fired in unison, creating bright flashes of light in the darkness. Jake flew his ship into the heart of the enemy fleet, dodging blasts and returning fire. "For Earth!" he shouted, determination in his voice. But the tyrant was relentless. "Fire again!" he ordered, and the dark wave surged toward the human fleet once more. The humans scrambled to defend themselves, but the power of the weapon was overwhelming. The waves of energy tore through the lines, causing destruction and chaos. Dr. Carter felt a knot tighten in her stomach. They were losing ground. "We need a plan, and we need it now," she urged her team. Suddenly, one of her engineers had an idea. "What if we can overload their weapon? Use its own power against it?" Dr. Carter's eyes widened. "That might just work. We need to figure out a way to draw its energy and then redirect it." The team sprang into action, working quickly to devise a plan. They needed to act fast or all would be lost. As the battle continued to unfold, the humans prepared for their final stand. They would use their wits and courage to turn the tide. The tyrant had made a grave mistake by underestimating them, and now they were ready to unleash their true potential. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, but one thing was clear. They would not go down without a fight. The battle in space had reached its climax. Bright flashes lit up the darkness, and the sound of energy blasts echoed through the void. Dr. Emily Carter and her team had one last chance to save Earth and defeat the galactic tyrant. They had a plan to turn his own weapon against him, but time was running out. As the human ships regrouped, Emily felt a mix of fear and determination. She knew that they had to act fast. "Prepare the energy redirectors," she shouted to her team. "We need to draw the weapon's power and send it back at the flagship." The technicians hurried to set up the equipment, their hands moving quickly to complete the task. In space, the galactic tyrant watched with disdain as the humans fought back. His face twisted in anger as he saw the human ships regrouping. "They think they can win," he growled. "We will crush them." He activated the experimental weapon again, and a dark wave of energy began to build up, ready to unleash devastation. "Jake, lead the charge," Emily shouted over the comms. "We need to draw their fire." Jake nodded, his heart pounding with adrenaline. He led a small squadron of pilots towards the flagship, dodging enemy blasts as they flew. "Stay close, everyone. We can do this," he called out, encouraging his fellow pilots. As they neared the flagship, the galactic tyrant fired the dark wave. It surged towards the human ships, a menacing shadow in the vastness of space. "Now!" Emily shouted, her voice steady. The team activated the energy redirectors, drawing the dark energy towards them. The device glowed brightly as it absorbed the wave, the power almost overwhelming. "Hold on!" one engineer yelled, struggling to maintain control. The energy crackled, and the air was thick with tension. Jake and his squadron kept the enemy ships at bay, firing their weapons to distract the tyrant's forces. "Keep them busy! We can't let them reach the control center!" Jake urged. The dark wave collided with the energy redirectors, and a blinding flash erupted. Emily shielded her eyes, but she could feel the power surging through their device. "Redirect it! Send it back now!" she ordered. The technicians worked frantically, adjusting the controls. With a final push, they aimed the energy back at the flagship. The energy beam shot through space like a comet, striking the Galactic Tyrant's ship. The flagship shuddered as the dark wave exploded against it, causing a chain reaction of destruction. The ship's systems went haywire, alarms blaring as the crew scrambled to regain control. "What is happening?" the tyrant shouted in disbelief. Panic spread among his ranks. "The weapon! It's backfiring!" one of his generals cried out. The flagship rocked violently, and the Galactic Tyrant realized he had underestimated the humans. "Retreat! We must retreat!" he commanded, but it was too late. As the flagship began to break apart, the remaining alien ships scattered in fear. The humans seized the moment, launching a final offensive against the fleeing forces. Jake's squadron fought with renewed vigor, their confidence soaring. "For Earth!" they yelled in unison as they pressed the attack. Back on Earth, people watched in awe as the battle unfolded. News reports broadcasted the victory, and cheers erupted across the planet. Families gathered around screens, celebrating the courage of their pilots. Dr. Carter's heart swelled with pride as she saw the results of their hard work. With the alien fleet in disarray, the humans began to regroup. They had achieved the impossible. They had fought against a powerful enemy and emerged victorious. The Galactic Tyrant's reign of terror was over, and the humans had proven their strength. As the dust settled, Emily and her team gathered in the control center. They were exhausted but exhilarated. "We did it!" one technician exclaimed, grinning from ear to ear. Emily smiled, her heart full of hope. "Yes, we did, but this is just the beginning." The world had changed forever. The humans had discovered their true potential, and now they stood united. They would not only defend their planet, but also explore the stars. The Galactic Empire had underestimated them, and they would learn from this mistake. As the team celebrated their victory, Jake looked out into the vastness of space. He felt a sense of pride knowing they had fought for their future. "We've proven that we are not to be taken lightly," he said, determination in his voice. "This is our new beginning." Emily nodded, a smile on her face. "Together we can achieve anything." The humans had faced a great challenge and emerged stronger. The battle had forged a new bond among them, one that would last through the ages. They were ready to face whatever came next, united in purpose and spirit. The future was bright, and the humans were ready to explore it. With courage and determination, they would embrace their new destiny among the stars.